What's going on, guys? Gemini here, and I'm bringing you episode 2 in my one tip to immediately improve with any Pokemon series, I guess you could call it. Anyways, I'm covering attackers today, and there is like 16 attackers in this game, and it's crazy. And I don't want like a half hour, 45-minute long video where I cover every single attacker in one thing. That seems really intense and painful to watch, to be honest. So I'm dividing into 3, 5, 5, 6. Yep, math checks out. So in this one, I'll be covering just 5 attackers, and then I'll be releasing a part 2 where I cover another 5, and part 3 where I cover the final attackers in the game. And also, I'll probably have to do actually a revised list. I'm not covering defenders yet, so I should be able to get everything out before Umbreon releases, and I'll probably do defenders, and Umbreon will be covered in... I don't know if I'll do a part 2 or how it'll work, but anyways, it'll be all covered. So, before we end the series, next episode in the series, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. It really helps me out, and I really appreciate that. Now, let's get in the video. Okay, so first up on the list is going to be Venusaur. It's like one of the first Pokemon I really like hardcore played in the game because it was just so fun. I loved the way it worked. And the little tip, I guess, for this Pokemon is that you don't get told this in the effects, but every tick of Petal Dance resets your other moves cooldown by like a second. So, for example, if I use Giga Drain, 6-second cooldown, bum 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 bum, and takes a while. If I use Petal Dance, bang bang bang, comes back really fast. And if you time it right, you can usually get about 3 with a Petal Dance, basically 3 Giga Drain. So you get Giga Drain off first, Giga Drain, Petal Dance. You gotta stay within range though, unfortunately. That's the only downside is... the range is very close, so that gets kind of annoying, but once you hit level 13, so that's why it's a really good Pokemon to get into the jungle. So once you hit that level 13, the range on it increases by much more, and it's just bang, 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 boom. So yeah, that's why if you are playing this Pokemon and you do actually get yourself in trouble, the combination of Giga Drain with Petal Dance, because Giga Drain offers you that damage reduction, so you want to kind of actually stay sometimes a bit closer, get those resets, and just reduce the incoming damage by using the Giga Drain. You might want to pop your full heal if they've got some CC moves, but yeah, you want to be hitting with those ticks of Petal Dance to get those cooldown resets on your Giga Drain. It also works for Sludge Bomb, but Petal Dance Sludge Bomb is kind of just a troll build, so yeah. Alrighty, so next up on the list we have Pikachu, and I couldn't really think of like just necessarily one really good tip that's really going to make you just get drastically better, that's like hidden and not really obvious, so I kind of just went with showcasing the actual effects of Electro Ball, because the move does... It's not an execute type of move, but it does basically the lower the remaining HP the enemy Pokemon has, the more damage it does. So, for example, if I use Electro Ball here, does 1075 damage, you can see above the dummy. If I were to let that reset, and I say I launch my Unite, I do some damage, I'm just like bang, bang, bang. So that was like an extra 1400 damage after I used the Electro Ball, so that was 400 roughly. I mean, I didn't really check the numbers, just quick math in my head. So that was like 400 damage over what it roughly usually does. So as the HP goes down, the Electro Ball does more damage. So basically, if you're coming into a fight with an enemy Pokemon, so I'll come down here and I'll take on this Venusaur, launching your Electro Ball does like a little bit, but what you want to be doing is just launching your moves and then bang at the end, just Electro Ball to finish them off as they're running away. It's a short hit move. It does crazy damage. I mean, I've got my move cooldowns off, so I can turn them back on. But if you just bang, 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 and then you get that execute damage, so you get that kind of extra damage when they're already low on HP, and it helps you. It's kind of like a chase down finishing type move, and that's kind of how you want to be using Electro Ball ideally. I mean, sometimes you can use it just to like get away because it does slow them down, it paralyzes them, but predominantly, like if you want to get those KOs and stuff like that, it's a great like finisher type move. Okay, so for Ninetales, I want to kind of show off the Mage build, the Avalanche Blizzard build, just because I think there's like a little bit more of intricacies to it, and it can be really good. Although personally, I prefer the Dazzling Veil kind of build with Dazzling Gleam and Aurora Veil, but I mean, this build can be really good. So you've got the move Blizzard, and that second hit, if it hits something, you probably already know this, but something launches. So if you don't hit something, I actually hit something there. Let me just turn off my cooldowns. So if I don't hit something, no obstacle, so there's no little aura of damage, whereas there is. So you can definitely combine, so it's only when it hits like an obstacle, so like a wall, or it can be actually comboed with your avalanche. So you can launch, if you launch an avalanche behind someone, push them into it, and of course it doesn't work because it doesn't go through walls. Silly me. Then he died, but it combos the damage and does crazy amounts of damage. But the thing is, if you have your cooldowns on, let me find someone else to show this, and you've started with that, then you got the enemies coming at you, and your moves are all on cooldown. You're a sitting duck, so that's one way you can do it. Another way that I've seen a lot of people use is you put the avalanche in front of you, push them away. We'll see if I can get it proper. Push them away, and then you've also got this little slow area, and it takes them a while. And by the time they get to you, you can put another avalanche up, push them away again, and you can keep doing that on repeat. So there's two ways you can handle it. So you can, keep that distance from you. So I kept my distance, he's trying to get me, and I'm just attacking him, and I just put it there. And I'm just keeping him at a bay. Just keeping him away from me, making sure he can't quite get to me. Just trying to keep that distance between yourselves. I do think this is probably easier to play when you're on mobile than playing it on Switch, because controlling where your avalanche goes can get tricky. You might want to adjust your sensitivity as well. But having that gap between you, and then you can just retreat a bit, and they're slowed down as well. So, just, oh no, gap, push him away, and then I just keep that distance. You can still attack him a little bit, but just trying to keep that distance between you guys, and that will help you stay alive, especially if you're playing this build, because you don't have a lot of mobility. You can have a eject button for mobility, but other than that, you don't have a lot of mobility when you play this build. So that'll help. It'll help you keep that gap, that little safety net between you and the enemy. Okay, I thought long and hard about what tip I wanted to do for Cramorant. I thought, do I want to show off the dive, where you don't have to actually reach over it to be able to dive over things? You can actually just dive here. Oh, not quite there, sorry. There, and you can dive to the other side, which is really going to change your ability to move around, because then you actually can get a little bit further with your dives, as opposed to, maybe making sure you can get over to the other side. It'll help your escapability, but I thought, no, hang on. I need to do the tip, and this is like, I do this pretty much every match I play Cramorant. It is the best tip. It is so good. And that's because in your Unite move, you're an absolute sitting duck, but you can eject button inside of your Unite move, and if you'll say, for example, you'll say here, you can eject button over a wall. And like that makes a massive difference. If you're here, you can eject button to the other side of here. And it just gets you out of so much trouble. If someone's gonna, if I'm at the Ray fight and I'm on the very edge and they're gonna close in on me, I just bang, eject button back over here. You get yourself to a bit of safety. You can still use Unite. You can launch some moves at them. And now they either have to dash over this wall, if they have a dash, or they have to walk all the way around. Meanwhile, you're just sitting here, bang, 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 with your Unite move. So try it out in matches, because oh my gosh, it game changing. It makes such a difference when you're playing Cramorant, and you can tell by my enthusiasm. I love this bird. I love this combination, and I just think it is just so important that you implement these into your gameplay. You'll get leagues and leagues better with Cramorant if you try these out. Okay, last but certainly not least in my series of Pokemon that I'm going to cover, and also the first ADC that I'm covering in this series, at least from the attacker perspective, that is Greninja. And this is different. Every other Pokemon I covered so far in this episode is a special attacker. This is a physical attacker, or just attacker in the game is called. And my tip for Greninja is just... So you have two types of attacks. You got your range attack and you got your close range attack, where you're dashing through and stuff. Now, my tip for Greninja is be aware of your boosted attacks, because naturally you'll aim your Surf and you'll want to be like, okay, do some damage, do some damage, do some damage, and you'll bang, get that reset on your Surf. That's a common thing, and that's how you should be playing this Pokemon. If you are in close and you're aiming your Surf and you're like, so I'm aiming my Surf this way, but then I physically attack and I don't aim back the other way. So if you already aimed it forward, because you naturally go forward, let me just get the reset, I can show you. So if I go attack, attack, and I go attack, and I dash this way instead of dashing back to get that execute, because I was aiming forward because I wasn't aware that my boost attack was up, and I was like, okay, I need to make sure I'm dashing this way to finish this opponent off because I'm aiming my move. And I've dashed through him. I'm now going to go either miss him completely. Like if I was over here, I'd miss them completely because I've dashed through. Or I'm going to just end up hitting someone else. I'm not going to get that reset. I'll be called out. I'll probably be dead. If I know that my boost attack is up, I can go like this and come back and aim backwards because I know my boost attack is going to be up. When I dash through, I've aimed backwards as a reflex without having to really think about it. And you'll just, ideally, you'll get that execute, you'll get that damage off, and you'll basically kill that enemy, pretty much. Just, yeah, be aware of when your close range, like when your boost attacks are up. Like, obviously, even if you're attacking from range and then you've walked too close and you accidentally dash through as well, you've got to be really aware of that as well. So you got to, if you want to keep your distance, keep your distance. If you want to be in close, make sure you're aware of where your boost attacks are at. Make sure you're not dashing through the enemy and then missing yourself completely. And with that, we have come to a close of the first 5 attackers, part 1 of my 1-tip series for the attackers. And as you can tell, the Pokemon I was most excited about was Cramorant. So please, if you're going to try out any of this Pokemon, if you main any of them, whatever, but if you are actually going to try out any of these Pokemon, please, for me, try out Cramorant, take over a match, tell me about it in the comments. I would love to hear it, and I will love you. Just dominate a match, get like 15 KOs, get 100k damage, secure raid, just dominate as the derpy bird, and you'll have a special place in my heart, okay? I promise you. Now, anyways, before I digress any further, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye!